Hello everyone and welcome to my enthusiast channel. In this channel I always talk about my cars, especially the X1 and X5, and I also talk about some of the EV cars which I'm quite passionate about. On top of that, I also share my travel videos. If you are into this content, I will love you as my subscribers. As for this video episode, I'm going to talk about the cons, or more or less the disadvantage of buying an EV car personally to me. Now this video is subjective because this is my personal opinion, and I rank the cons and negative of owning an EV car based on my personal preference. And before everyone shoot me, I already recorded a pros and advantage of owning an EV car based on my personal preference as well. If you want to watch that episode, I'm going to link the video up here and also in the description below. So the first thing for me is a limited driving range. Some people call it range anxiety. For me, not so much. I find it very troublesome. I own a BMW X5 40e plug-in hybrid, so that I get best of both worlds. I have petrol engine, I have electric power engines. And because the nature of my work, I travel a lot short distance. Most of the time, I'm traveling on electric mode. So the petrol engines kick in is when usually I travel outstations. At least every 2 to 3 months with my family, I need the petrol engines to be functional. At least I don't have to worry about range. I don't have to schedule my time based on my travel route. I just go. I have electric juice in my car and I have petrol juice in my car, so I can get best of both worlds. That's the reason why I find the plug-in hybrid will be more of a suitable choice for me currently. For electric cars, I find it not very usable in terms of the driving range, especially going for far outstation travel. And some of the destinations that I need to travel in Malaysia especially exceed most of the driving range of the EV car, so I need to juice up in between. That comes to the point number 2, where it has limited public charging. So that is a major headache. I have to plan my route carefully so I can charge the car in between the travels, and I have to spend additional time, maybe 20 to 30% longer than I have to. Not every place that has this charging station, and when you reach the charging station, you pray there's no queue backlog, otherwise you have to wait for your turn. So when it comes to the queue, it depending on how long. If it's just one car charging, probably you have to wait for the next half an hour. It could be 1 hour for the guy to finish, then will be your turn. Imagine if he is charging and another person is on queue, then you will be in deep trouble waiting for 2-3 hours just for your turn to charge. The worst part is the charging station is not working or is vandalized, so you will have a major headache. There's one problem that many people don't talk about it. When you need to charge, you need to download all sorts of apps, because all this charging station, they want to mine your data. They need you to register and input everything. Worst part is there's no hotspot or there's no data. You cannot unlock the charging station to charge your car. Pretty much you're stuck there. If you have low battery, might as well you call a tow truck and then tow your car all the way to your destination. Probably it's much cheaper that way. The third on my list is high maintenance. Now I know most of you will say, hey, where got high maintenance? There's not much moving parts. Yes, I did mention that on the pro side, the advantage on my previous video. Now I'm going to talk about the disadvantage and the con side of having an EV car breaks down. If anything breaks down on an EV car, it's going to cost you tens of thousands of ringgit. Sometimes it could end up hundreds of thousands of ringgit, because these parts are super expensive. Now in comparison to ICE vehicle, if something is not working, a couple of thousand ringgit, but it never costs tens of thousands of ringgit, or probably hundreds of thousands of ringgit. For example, if your EV battery fails, do you know how much is it to replace the entire battery pack? Now what happens if your other components fail, like your charging components? Now your car is under warranty, obviously you are good to go. But what if you purchase the car used, which is about 7 to 8 years old? Now I know most Malaysian, we don't encounter it yet because we are quite new to this new energy vehicle, so we haven't experienced this yet. Unlike our counterpart in Europe or American, they are starting to realize it's not cheap to replace parts on EV car. Well, you may say, Chester, why don't you buy the car brand new? Then you get the full 8-year warranty. Yes, I do agree. If your car is under warranty and there's any defect from manufacturing, you can get it replaced for free. But what if the defects is not caused by the manufacturer. Remember, you have to plug in to charge your EV car. What happens if there's any spike of power from the grid to your vehicle? Now, likely something will burn inside your car. It could be some components inside your car. It could be the charging port. It could be even your battery. So all this we don't know. The EV car manufacturer will not cover all this under warranty because it's from external source. You have to remember that even though your car is covered under warranty, not many people talk about this issue. My car, the charging module got burned because there's a spike of electricity and it's not covered under warranty. I did ask BMW. They said no, it's not covered under warranty because it's from external source. It's not their problem. That leads to another point, the fourth one, battery degradation. Again, if you purchase the car brand new, you don't have to worry about it because you got 8 years warranty. If the degradation drops below a certain point, you can claim from the manufacturer and they will happily replace you with a brand new battery. But what if you are a used car purchaser like me and you buy it after the 8-year warranty, or you buy it almost towards the end of warranty, probably a 7-year or 6-year, you have like 1 or 2 years go before the warranty expire. Then after you own the car for the next 1 or 2 years, something happens. Your battery goes kaput. What do? Do you know how much the battery is going to cost again? That's the question. Or maybe a less extreme case, your EV battery performance reduced to like 50% of the actual range. Comparable to an ICE vehicle, you still get the same range as if it came out from the factory, maybe 10 to 20 kilometers less as before, but not as drastic as 50 to 60% reduction of range. After you find out your battery has degraded to like 50 to 60%, it comes another problem, which is point number 5. Poor resale value. How are you going to get rid of the car? Who are you going to sell it to? Let's put a scenario assuming you bought the car used as well, like 3 to 4 years ago. That time it has a battery health of 80% or maybe 85%. After using it 3 or 5 years later and your warranty expired and you want to sell it, and after knowing that it has range of 50 to 60% only, how do you sell it? You still can sell the EV car with 50 to 60% range remaining. Probably some ladies will buy it to pick up their children from school or send their children to work or maybe buy some groceries, but at a much lower value. For Malaysian, we don't get this problem yet because most of the EV cars are quite new. Now, if you look at the EV resale price in America and Europe, the resale value is rock bottom. They are trying to get rid of the car and still nobody wants it. And those who bought it used, they are having major problems maintaining. At the end of the day, it costs more to maintain an old EV car than to maintain an ICE car. So that's the reason why the value plummeted so badly in Europe and America. We Malaysians, well, we're going to have another couple years before we feel the pinch. Now, the sixth on my item will be quite controversial. It is fire hazard. Yes, I say it out loud because EV cars have a lithium-ion battery. The current technology, I believe, is still not there. Probably we need another 10 to or maybe another 15 years for the battery tech to reach a certain level before it's 100% safe, maybe 99.9% safe. The main issue about lithium-ion battery is that it can self-combust while it's not turned on. So that is a major headache. Personally, to me, I don't feel comfortable, or I say peace in mind, parking my car on my garage or my porch, which is right next to my house. And if it does self-combust, touch wood, it will take my family and my house together with the car one go. So that is quite a safety hazard. Yes, I do know there's many skeptics and there's many supporters who say this is barely happened. There's so many ICE fires compared to EV fire. I do agree with you, but you have to look at the statistics in depth. How many are arson? What is the age of the car? What are the cause of the fire? Now, this have to put into consideration. One thing for sure, ICE vehicle do not self-combust while it's idle and it's not turned on. That is very critical. I can sleep, I don't have to worry about anything, it won't self-combust. Now, it's a different story. If I'm driving, I can open my door and get out of the car. But if I'm sleeping at home and the whole car self-combusts by itself, I'm trapped in a home and I'm dead. And most of us, when we buy an EV car and we are staying in landed properties, where do we charge our car? Your own home. The second point, which is last on my list, will be the EV tax credit, which only benefit the rich. Yes, I say out loud, it only benefit the rich. Most Malaysians can't afford a $100,000, $200,000 car. And all this EV tax credit, tax incentive, all this only benefit the rich people or at most medium high income earners. Most of the EV cars, I believe, won't see past 15-20 years in Malaysia. I don't think so. It will happen. Based on the income of most Malaysians and those who buy a used car, Basically, they just want to get the car to go from point A to point B. Can you imagine those EV cars 15 years, 20 years old, probably have 50 to 100 kilometers of range? What can they do with it? That's about it. You can't even travel outstation, you can't even go anywhere. So that car is pretty much useless. So that's the end of it. What do you think of my list? Do you have any comments? Do write in the description below so we can discuss about it. Probably tell me if I'm wrong somewhere, and tell me if I'm really crazy, or if you have anything to add, or maybe I missed out something. Do write down below. Or maybe what is your wish list? What is the ranking of the list personally to you? Now if you like this video, please smash the like button, and if you like my video content on this channel, I would love you to be part of my subscriber. Please click on the link below if you haven't subscribed yet. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.